dark in a nerve-wracking way. The dishes and laundry take the garbage out. What a day, what a day, what a day.
Well, welcome to Schenectady Today, in and around the Capital Region. We're so happy that you're joining us today. We've got a great lineup today, lots of great information, so sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and join us for this really fun show. We're going to be talking with the representatives from Schenectady Civic Players. They're doing a stage reading. This is a free event. You can, of course, they'd love donations, but it's a free event. We'll talk about that. Then we're going to talk about a wrap-up for this year's taxes. If you haven't done your taxes, you better get started with those, get those papers together. Then we're going to be going right up to Cambridge and talking about Annie, who doesn't love Annie, at Hubbard Hall. And then we're going to be talking about what's coming up at Proctor's for the next season, but also when you can get those Hamilton tickets. And we're still not sure when, but maybe Michael will have some info. And a great event is coming up at my side. They're doing the Harry Potter Day, the wizardry of the science and wizardry of Harry Potter, so I'm looking forward to that. And then we're going to be talking about Circles of Mercy. They do a wonderful job over in their area and with St. Catherine's and many of the other things that they try and help with. So we're going to be talking about that, and they're partnering with Maria College as well. But our breaks today will be, again, we're going to do kitchen jazz. They were a lot of fun last week, so we're going to do them again this week and have some music for our breaks. But we're going to start right out with our representatives from the Schenectady Civic Players, and they are doing, and John Quinnen is sitting next to me, and he is the director of Time Stand Still.
Correct, yes.
How does it stand still?
Well, it's the play is about a reporter and a photojournalist who go to war-torn areas, and she gets injured. But she talks about when she looks through her camera, time stops, and that's it. When a photograph captures a moment in time, time stands still for that second.
Does, yeah. Yes. We don't always think of it that way.
Right.
So Jean is part of the cast, and
yes.
Tell us what you do, Jean.
I play Sarah, the photojournalist who gets injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan. And she comes back, and for me, the play is about perspective to a great extent. It's not only seeing her recuperate and recover from this trauma, but how the people around her react to this.
Oh, okay.
And going back to the photograph issue, how people can look at one photograph and see something differently. Laura plays Mandy. She sees something completely different in a photograph that I took than I see. And it's really interesting.
And what do you play?
I played Mandy, and she happens to be a little bit of an outsider in the beginning of the piece, and then you see her have this great character arc from beginning to end, and her character really comes into her own, which I think is really awesome about it. But yes, as Jean was saying, she looks at Mandy looks at Sarah's photographs and sees something completely different than what everyone else in the room sees, and she cannot, at the point where she sees them, she can't understand how they can think one thing and how they can't see it her way. And it's very interesting to see the different perspectives that people look at one thing and see.
And they see something entirely different. Yeah. I mean, isn't that, but that's life, I think. Yeah. People do look at things in a different way. Tell us what a stage reading is, because I mean, people who have never been to one might wonder, what is a staged reading?
A staged reading is sort of a stripped down version of the play. The actors have script in hand, so it's done with minimal blocking, no costumes, no props, but the actors have the script, but they're fully acting it. So it's not a full production.
They have to practice. They have to
Absolutely,
rehearse.
yes, we do rehearsals, and
but
it's not fully staged as you would.
And you do it downstairs, right?
We do it downstairs in the green room at Schenectady.
Okay, and it's set up like a cabaret type?
Correct, yes, cabaret style seating.
And coffee, tea?
Yes, it's served at intermission.
Okay.
And I believe they may have some cookies or other things for sale as well.
Cookies and muffins, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
And it's a way of giving back to the community.
Absolutely.
And if they've never been to a play and they want to taste it, this is really a great way to do that. Did you select the play?
I did select the play,
okay,
yes.
And what caused you to select the play?
I really, really loved the play. I saw it on Broadway when it came out, and I've read it since. and it just the character interaction is just so well done. All 4 characters are so well defined.
So there's 4 characters.
There's
then.
4
Okay,
characters
yeah.
because there's the reporter who and he and Sarah have been partners for a long time, and
who's playing that part?
that's Mike Schaefer who's
Okay.
playing that, and then David Rook plays their publisher, and he is dating Mandy and eventually marries Mandy, this much younger woman who initially, and Mandy comes off initially as a ditz, but then as it goes on, there's so much depth to her and so much insight. It really is very, very good. I really love the play.
Well, good. I can tell you like it, John. So when can people see this?
It will be on Sunday, April the 7th, this coming Sunday at 2:30 p.m. in the green room at Schenectady Civic, 12 Church Street.
Okay, and
It's
there's no
just
charge, but they like donations.
Correct.
If you can,
Yes,
you can
pay
do
what-
that.
right,
And we should mention too, and I will shameless plug, but Laura is also in the Murder Mystery
Yes.
Theater coming up, which I believe tickets are probably pretty well gone.
Probably.
I think I got the last one.
Did
Yeah.
you get the last one? Yes.
All of 2 left, but we're pretty much at pretty much
Maximum,
full
Yeah,
capacity.
they're very
yeah.
popular.
It's,
yes,
it's
yeah.
the biggest, highest selling one that we've ever had.
Excellent.
Really? Oh, that is so cool.
So someone here is also in it too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I have to say that it's really, it's been a long time since I've been on the stage. And I've been in musicals and things like that, and also done short scenes from movie moments and things like that. But this has been so much fun. The director is wonderful.
Yes, he's
Mark
great.
is really great, but we won't spend time on that because we want him to come on this one here. But I did want to mention that Laura, I don't know how she does it because she works and she does plays, and every time I'm looking at her, she's doing scripts, and she's got her. She is the bride and has her part down cold. So so she doesn't need.
Yeah.
So you have 4 characters in
Correct.
your play.
Yes.
What time? 2:30 you said.
2:30,
right?
yes.
And should they come early to make sure that they get?
Yes, they can come early and get a seat. And get
Okay.
Yeah, it's table seating.
Okay, and is there a maximum of number, or do you usually fill the place?
Usually it gets pretty full.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know what the capacity is. Maybe 45.
No, I think
35.
it's higher than that. I
Is
think.
it
Yeah, it's higher than
60,
that.
It's like 80,
70, 80,
80
something,
something
like
like
that.
that.
You know
Yeah.
what? I think I'm going to have to come because we have
Absolutely.
rehearsal right afterwards.
Well, there you
So
go.
I might as well be
may as
there
well,
and
exactly,
enjoy it.
yes.
So yeah, but thank you for being here, Jean. And I know I've seen you on stage before. You are such a seasoned actor. So
And we
thank
do
you.
also, for the stage reading, we have Michael Sylvia is acting as narrator. So he will like read the scene setting and a couple of things where you would see things if you had a fully staged
Yeah.
production with props. But
So you get an idea of what the setting
Correct,
is supposed to be
yes.
like.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I should say break a leg because that's what you're going to do.
Absolutely.
Except there are no legs in this
Right.
one. But that's okay. We'll just pretend.
very good.
So thank you all for being here. It's always
Thank
a
you.
pleasure to
Thank
have
you.
you on the show and have a really great performance. And
Thank you.
I'll be there. I'll see you.
Excellent.
Good.
Thanks,
Good.
Ann.
And that is, did we say the date?
April 7th,
April
Sunday, April
7th, this
7th,
coming
2:30.
Sunday.
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll find out about those taxes. If you haven't done them yet, you're going to find out why you should be doing them. Stay tuned.
It makes no difference
Got
if
everything
it's
in?
sweet or hot.
Thank you. Yeah.
Just give that rhythm everything you've got.
Hey, hi, Tracy.
It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Do-wop,
Oh, well.
do-wop, 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 do-wop. In heaven, and the cares that hung around me through the week seem to vanish like a gambler's lucky streak when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, I like to climb a mountain and to reach the highest peak, but it doesn't thrill me half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. And I like to go out fishing in a river or a creek, but I don't enjoy it half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. Come on and dance with me. I want my arms around heaven.
And here we are back again. And oh my goodness, if you haven't done your taxes, these ladies here are going to tell you why you should get them done and how you can get them done on time, and especially how you can get them done free, right? Yes. So she's the program director of Tracy. So tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Excuse me.
How are you set up this year?
Oh, so we still have our 21 sites throughout the Capital Region. We're coming down to the wire right now. We have 2 weeks left. So if you don't have all of your things, start calling people, emailing people, let them know that you're going to need all of
Well, they
your
should
items.
have everything by now.
They should. Most even with investments, everything should be out by the end of March. So everyone should have what they need.
Well, I thought that there was some ruling that it had to be out by the end of January, so you could start your taxes.
Your W-2s, your income has to be out by the end of January, but investments, things like 1099-Bs and they don't really abide by those same rules.
Okay. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
If you want to get them done. Yeah. And of course, we have Joanne Passano with us, and she's been with the IRS for years, but now she's the site coordinator, right?
Right. Yeah. I'm volunteering with Tracy and Cash Coalition.
So how many? You have 21 sites.
Well, I don't have 21 sites. I have 2 sites.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know.
I'm a mobile. I do mobile site. I have my own personal site, and then I work for Circles of Mercy under Richard Zizicki.
And Richard's here today, too.
Oh, hi, Richard.
Yeah, I tried to get him on to come on join us, but he said no, because he's going to be on for something else.
No,
so,
all right. Yeah, so it's very interesting, very interesting. I'm getting phone calls at home, matter of fact. People are going, Joanne, friends, family, I owe money this year. Why?
Oh, there's a lot of people that are complaining about that.
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, I think a lot of the people who itemized in prior years are getting killed with the taxes. And I think a lot of capital gains. Seems like I don't know why the business community is doing this and stuff, but there's a lot of people getting capital gains on their investments, and there's like money not being withheld, so they owe more money, you know. So I just think, because this morning I did a quick comparison compared to 17 and 18 as far as your tax rates and stuff. The tax rates have gone down, but but with the withholding went down also. So it's like
they thought that they were going, yay! I get $5 more each week.
Right,
you know,
right.
And then you count that times 52 weeks or whatever. And then they find out, whoa, wait a minute, they didn't take it out when I should have.
Right, so some of the people that are going to be coming out right now to see Tracy's sites and stuff will be going, I owe money, so it's going to be tough.
How will, based on the experience of this year, what should they do next year? Should they do like minus $50 or minus $20 and like no deductions, or is there some way that they can solve that problem ahead of time?
Yeah, the best thing to do is to use the withholding calculator on irs.gov. That's going to be your best tool to predict how much withholding should be coming out of your check. And so you can compare your check stubs to what the withholding calculator says. And if it's less, then you want to tell your HR to increase. You know, you want to change your W-4 statement.
And you can change that, I think, once or twice a year.
As many times as you want.
I thought there was a limit on that.
No, the employers might give you a limit, but you know, so no.
So that's how you solve that problem. Now, I know that, you know, we have, the deadline is going to be, is it always, it's not the 15th, it's the 17th, or what day is the deadline?
So it's April 15th.
It is the 15th, because usually there's something in
Patriots
Boston.
Day or something.
Yeah, something going on. And so that they change it. But it's this 15th this year.
Yep, because it's on a Monday.
You don't get no bonus this year.
Yeah, no bonuses.
It's the 15th, you got to get it in. I laughed. Are they really at the post office putting it in at 11:49 on
yeah
50?
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
They are. If the post office is extending hours, if it's postmarked at 11:59 p.m., then you can get it in for April 15th. Yeah.
But now we talk about post office, but really, aren't we supposed to be doing this electronically?
Yeah, the IRS is making a big push for electronic filing. It's a lot quicker. I think it's a lot safer, you know, than putting things through the mail and waiting for 3 or 4 weeks, you know, with your hands in the air. At least if you're electronic filing, there's a process that we can follow. There's a transaction ID and there's a receipt notice, and you know, and when you should be receiving your refund back. So there's a process to follow when we do it electronically.
I see. And the other thing I noticed this year, I owed some money for the for my state taxes, and I kind of wondered, well, now wait a minute, how do we do this? Because I'm doing it electronically. But yeah, you can file electronically and just mail them a check.
Yes.
So I mean, it worked out okay. I mean, it was like, don't I have to put them together or something?
No,
no, I think you just have to show one sheet when you do it.
Yes.
So.
Right. Or you can do it when you're doing your filling out your return electronically. You can make the payment directly from your bank
I didn't
account.
know that.
Yeah, some of the softwares. Now, I don't know the software you particularly
I
use.
think I use TurboTax.
Yeah, our software at the Vita sites, they allow us to do that. So
you just put your credit card number in, or
yeah,
whatever.
or your bank
bank
account.
account.
Bank
They don't like
account.
credit
They don't
cards
like
now.
credit cards. Nope, nope. Bank account. So they want to get right in there.
Yeah, they
so
want to
yeah.
do a cash transaction
Yeah,
there. So when is the last time that people can make an appointment? Because you're not going to be, you don't want 10 people walking in on the 15th.
So people can make appointments right up until the day. Whether or not you're going to get an appointment is the question. You know, that's the big deal. We do have a walk-in day on April 15th. At Catholic Charities. That day is always wild. We can't guarantee an appointment, but we do try to get most everyone in, especially if you have everything that you're supposed to have to be able to file on that day, then we could try to get you in that day.
Right.
Which brings me to my next question. So I can't get them done on the 15th, and I can't pay it. I don't have my money. What do I do?
You can file an extension. So the IRS does, you know, have a heart in that way. They understand
Well,
that
I mean,
things
suppose
come up.
somebody had a heart attack or something. I mean,
Right,
you know, we're
right.
talking about
Right,
something
right,
serious,
right.
not
Right.
just like, I want to go to
I'm
the
late,
Bahamas
yeah.
or something.
Well, they might do it for that reason too.
Yeah, so they do work with you. They do work with you. You have to file an extension before April 15th, and I think it gives you 6 months up to
Yes.
October to be able to get your 2018 taxes filed.
Right.
Okay.
But remember, that's only to file, not to pay.
Yeah.
You still have to have 90% paid into.
What if you don't know how much, 90%?
Well then.
It's a crapshoot.
Yeah. Usually people know. They'll know approximately.
Based on last year.
Yeah, if you're pretty good, they'll look at it. As long as you have 90% in
Okay.
of your tax.
I'm sure if it's 89%, they're not going to come after you.
Yeah, I always thought, all my years working at the IRS and people talking, I always thought, why would you file an extension
When you have to pay anyway.
Pay anyways, or 90% in. But some people just can't get their paperwork, or their accountant says, pay this amount because I can't get you in and I'll get you later.
Yeah.
You know?
I just can't even imagine an extension. It's like, that's like, you know, not going to the dentist and continuing with your pain, you know.
Right.
Because I can I put the appointment off for 6 months. You know, no, get it over with.
Right. And talking about free sites, I came in late, so I apologize. But there is a tax problem solving day down at
Oh, okay. That's on the 9th of
April. It's Legal Aid Society is offering it. There's going to have the New York State there, taxpayer advocate and stuff. Anybody in this area, anybody in the I think it's all of our counties.
This is a great idea. I'm going to scan this in, and I will put this up on Facebook, on my Facebook page. So you will see it, and I'll try and put it on Twitter.
Oh, all right.
Well.
Oh, great. Thank you very much.
We'll get this information out.
Yes,
so,
yes.
We do try to get information out, not only on this show, as you know, we are filming live on YouTube right now, but we are also up on YouTube, but we also try to extend the promotion of our guests through Facebook and through, I use LinkedIn, and I also use Twitter and Instagram. Wow. So we do try and help you a little bit.
Thank you very much.
But anyway, you both got your taxes done?
Yep.
Yeah.
I got my refund a while back. I always get a refund. I always file, Tommy and I file jointly, and I always claim single zero, had the most taken out, because I didn't want the IRS coming after me. even though I work there.
Even though you work there. Oh, that would be awfully embarrassing. But anyway, thank you both for being here, and we'll see you next season,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
Oh my
definitely.
gosh. It comes so fast.
I know.
I know. I'm thinking April. I'm going, wait a minute. January will be coming up. Here I'm jumping the gun here with
Really, especially you.
Tracy,
yes.
so good to see you.
Thank
And
you.
Joanne, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you
We're
very
going
much.
to take a quick break, and we're going up to Cambridge, and we're going to be talking about Annie. I love Annie. Oh, that's such a great play. Stay tuned. Good.
Oh, I like to go out walking in a suit.
And here we are back again. And I don't know if the sun is going to come out tomorrow, but we're going to find out what is coming out tomorrow. Now, it isn't tomorrow, actually. You're going to be starting on the
Friday.
5th. Right there, Friday. That's right, Friday. My goodness, where's the time go? And we're talking about Annie at Hubbard Hall. And you're the director.
Yes,
How big is your cast?
we have a cast of 23, grades 7 through 12.
So you can imagine that hall, Ann, every afternoon from 3:30 to 6:30 these days, like just busting with energy.
I'll bet they are so happy.
It's a lot of fun. It's a very energetic and very hardworking group of young adults. So it's been a really great energy coming into the hall every day.
So, so Ms. Hannigan is going to be
A student.
student.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is it's a student production with the Cambridge Drama Club because we've had
I
this,
think it's great what you do.
this
I really
partnership
do,
the last
yeah.
3 years where the school has contracted with us to have the musical in Hubbard Hall, which just gives students a really professional experience. But it's entirely students, student performing,
Do
but
they do the
professionally
lighting and
produced.
are they doing everything?
No, we
Oh,
professionally
yeah, you
produce
could
it.
do that,
so
yeah.
Virginia is the director of it. We have a professional stage manager, lighting designer, musical director. So they get
Okay,
the
good.
experience of
Yeah,
being in a
because
real
kids,
production.
It would be pretty tough
No.
for them to learn all of that.
But it's really great for them too to have the experience of being in a professional theater space and to have all of the access to the professional lighting design soundboard and just playing space to get them used to that and have that kind of learning experience.
And how's the music? You're here. The music. The only reason is that if the hair brushes up against the microphone. Music. Are you using an orchestra or band or?
We
what?
have a live orchestra of sorts. We have a percussionist and a pianist.
Oh,
who
wonderful! That's
together
all
will
really
be-
you need to get the music going there.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been in the hall before, it's 120 seats. It's a really intimate space, so it
It's
gives
like
students
this.
the chance to,
Yeah.
they can perform and sing without microphones, so you really feel the live voice and the live instruments, and it's really a beautiful
It has
experience.
wonderful acoustics in that space.
Sounds wonderful, yeah. And this is a big production to do, Annie. And you have the scene basically is the outside. There's an outside scene with you have a dog?
Yeah, we just recently cast
You
our
cast
assistant-
the dog?
We
You
did.
had to have a call.
We had 3 days of dog auditions.
Oh, stop.
We had 3 separate dogs come in and work with the cast members and see how they performed on stage. We had a few barkers
And you can't use
who
the
we
bark.
couldn't use, unfortunately.
We use they bark only in one scene, I think, with Big
Well, we had
Dad,
the
with
problem of dogs trying to sing along with Tomorrow.
Oh.
Yep, so that is the only non-student actor in our show.
Okay, good.
W.C. Fields, I think, is the one who said never work with children or animals, but this sort of cancels itself out because they're all so cute and adorable and committed that you watch it all together. So, but it's really important to have a live dog, I think, because it just really is part of the piece.
You'd have to have a live dog.
Yeah.
Because the dog is only in a couple of scenes,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
Yeah, so, but it's adorable.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
tough.
And it's an important piece in some ways. Annie is, Virginia and I were talking on the way here about the piece being about hope and this sense of,
Annie is
the haves and have-nots.
She was
Yeah.
hoping to find her parents.
Yeah.
And that was her her dream. I'm just going to find my, you know, and then Daddy Warbucks is going to help her find them, and then, oh my goodness, bad news.
Yeah, and to have hope for a better tomorrow, you know, like
Yeah.
as we're all a little tense these days, we sort of look forward to like a brighter future, and this piece is still about that, still
Yeah.
about hoping for the next day.
It's such a great play. I've seen it done professionally, you know, I mean, on the Broadway production. And it's a delightful play, and when that dog comes out, everybody goes, oh, you know, there's that little gasp when the dog comes out. So you've got 24 kids. I can't even imagine. And what schools do they come from, or schools, or how do you do that?
It's entirely from Cambridge,
It's
so
okay.
it's
I didn't
just
know if you had
Cambridge,
private schools
but also
or any-
homeschooled students in the Cambridge district.
That's
can
what I wondered
participate.
about the homeschool too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because they need that opportunity too,
Yeah,
to
but
get out.
Virginia is sort of a master at managing all of those kids and all of those ages, and sort of corralling them all, keeping them focused. I mean, they got to
Like
sing,
herding
dance,
cats,
act.
right?
You know, props. They did a makeup workshop last week, like all that good fun.
I was a teen not that long ago,
Yeah.
so I remember from my days in drama club what things I found interesting and what things I felt were important and what things resonated with me personally. So part of now taking on the role of a director is bringing those things to them. And I remember doing hair and makeup workshops and thinking that learning that was fascinating, so I wanted to make sure we did those things and making sure that we balance the hard work that goes into memorizing an entire two-act play,
script, yeah.
And learning all of your blocking and choreography, but mixing that in with fun and playing acting and improv games and doing exercises. That's one of my favorite things to do as an
I bet
instructor.
the kids love having you as a
It's-
director. She's good, I'll bet.
Yeah, she's great.
it's great fun. I mean,
I can see the enthusiasm here. This is good. This is good stuff.
And one of my favorite things to do with them is to do an acting exercise that they think is just a game and it's just fun, and then at the end I'm like, well, you see, that was secretly an exercise in objective learning, and the objective of the game was to get whatever goal, and that can translate into in a scene when you need to achieve something. But they're also a very insightful group of kids too, so we've been able to talk about the pertinent themes of Annie, because I didn't want them to approach it as a piece of fluff or a piece of sheer entertainment.
No, it has a message. And that's why it's been such a successful musical, because it you know, it has a message that resonates with so many people. They're always searching for something, and sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But
Well, and because it's so familiar to them, one of the things we've been really talking about is not just reciting the lines or the lyrics that you know so well, is what does tomorrow actually say? You're talking about optimism and hope and the idea that even if today is horrible, tomorrow is a clean slate. And so they're actually considering what they're saying and what the meaning of this play and the text is.
This is great. I mean, these kids have got to learn something from you, because you really seem to have it nailed down as to what needs to be done. Is this your first, or have you directed before?
I've directed, I've done the youth theater program. I've done that for 4 years. I directed it. So that was younger kids.
Were they always a musical?
Yes, all
Always a
4 years of
musical.
musicals.
What did they do last year?
Last year we did Peter Pan.
Oh, okay.
Which is another one of those classic. But yeah, so it's been very different working with teens as opposed to kids ages 8 to 12. But I've also directed at school with actors my age and whatnot. So it's a very different dynamic, but just as enjoyable. I just love
They're
everything.
going to come away, I think, with a real grasp of the amount of work that goes into. I mean, it's easy to. I mean, I find that myself when I'm watching even a TV show, and I'm thinking, they had to learn those lines. Now, granted, it's TV, and they probably did it in scenes so they could learn their lines. But when you're on stage, there's no stopping and starting over. You start it, and you're going through that whole thing, and you hope that everybody's remembering their lines in the right place. And these kids, they're so enthusiastic about it.
And the kids we've had now for a couple years, you can see them growing every year. You know, their confidence grows. They seem a little taller on stage. They seem a little bit more powerful. So it really, helps them become stronger individuals over the years.
Okay, so let's tell everybody, because we're almost out of time, when can they see this?
So it's April 5th through the 14th.
Okay,
It's Fridays
5th
and
through the 14th. Oh,
yes.
I have the wrong date
So
here.
April
Okay.
5th through the 14th. It's
Okay.
2 weekends only. It is Fridays and Saturdays at 7:30 and Sundays at 2 p.m. So
Boy,
the
these
matinees
kids are
are
gonna
Sundays.
work hard.
They are 2 weekends.
They have
It
a
takes
week
a
off in
real
the middle.
professional effort.
Yeah. What are you
All they got to
complaining
do is
about?
school, whatever. They can
Yeah.
sleep through the week,
School.
right?
I hope the
Sports.
teachers understand that this is as important as any class that they take in school. It really is.
Well, the school's been great partners with us.
Yeah.
The superintendent always comes and supports it. It's been a really great partnership.
I hope
so
all their
they're
teachers
on
are
board with
coming
it.
and give them a little extra credit.
Yeah, and we had a preview last week where the students got to perform for the whole school, so
Okay.
they got their friends to see them shine.
Oh, cool.
A little teaser.
Yeah. and there is a fee to see it. Right?
Yes, it's $10 for adults and $5 for students.
Okay.
So and
It's
that all
very
goes to the
reasonable
drama
for-
club.
Yeah, it goes
so.
to the drama club.
Yeah.
Okay, great. David, and thank you so much for coming, Virginia.
Thank you for having
But
us.
I think what you're doing is fabulous, and I can see the enthusiasm in both of you, and
Yeah.
it shines, and I'm sure it shines with the students as well.
It means a
We're
lot.
going to
Thank
take
you.
a quick break, and we're going to be talking about Proctor's, which is another venue
Yeah.
for theater. And we'll be talking with them about different things that are coming up, but also those Hamilton tickets. Stay tuned. Good.
I want my arms around you, and all the charms about you will carry me through right up to heaven. I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. And I finally found that happiness I seek. When we're out together dancing, when we're out together dancing, when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek. I say either,
And I say either.
I say neither.
And here we are back again. And of course, Proctor's. Of course, that's where we're filming right now, is at Proctor's. We're on the 3rd floor near Addie Theater, which is a lovely theater. Come visit us sometimes up here. They have movies up here and lots of other things. But right now, we're talking about their next season. But the question on everybody's mind is, when can we get those Hamilton tickets?
Well, people have been waiting for Hamilton tickets, so I'd like to make them wait one more second while I say what great work they do at Hubbard Hall.
Oh, aren't they?
And I can't agree with you more that having students participate in the arts is just as important as all the other classes they
I
take.
agree.
It helps us exist, it helps us live in the world, it helps us relate with each other, and it makes use of all those things we learn. We do a lot of teching shows here at Proctor's, and we're doing that with students. They're using math when they do the calculations for carpentry. They're using science when they do the physics of how to set up the stage. They're using English when they do the theater. So it's great work
Little
they're doing at
physics
Hubbard
with the
Hall.
lights, right? The lumens out there,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah,
How many-
and we just love the fact that they're working with kids. So Hamilton
and
tickets.
we'll just give
Yep.
a shout out too
Yeah.
for Proctor's with their performing arts school too here.
We have a wonderful school here. We serve over 45,000 students annually right up here in the Addie. We have kids up here all the time. We're a real powerhouse in the nation, and we're very proud of that. And throughout the Capital Region, all the theaters we have work well with kids, and that's an important thing.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, every
So,
one of them. I
yeah.
know SLOC does, and many of them that do.
So
But
if you want a
Hamilton.
Hamilton ticket, I've got one right here. Actually, I
yeah,
don't.
no, you don't. You come on, quit being a.
Even
what
we-
a tease you are.
Even we at Proctor's don't know when Hamilton single tickets are going to go on sale. We're working very closely with the show.
And it has to do, just let me interrupt, just
Yeah.
for a second. People do not realize that the production company is the one that controls this.
Absolutely. And Hamilton's very smart. They know their show very well. They know how it works. They know how excited people are across the country to see the show. So for example, our subscribers, when they got their package of tickets in the mail, they received a souvenir ticket for Hamilton. And the reason for that is people get excited. They want to show their tickets online and stuff. Well, someone could take the information off that and create a fake ticket.
Oh.
You're going to see all kinds of fake ticket sites. If you see a site right now on this April day saying, get your Hamilton tickets at Proctor's here, it's a fake.
Well, I looked it up. Remember, I emailed that to you. I looked it up, and the tickets for the orchestra were $1,400 and some odd dollars.
Yeah.
at Proctor's here in Schenectady, and that cannot be.
When the real tickets come out, there's a good chance they'll be the most expensive tickets we've had at Proctor's. They will not be $1,400. That's not going to happen.
And you don't set the prices.
We don't set the prices.
And see, that's another thing. People don't realize that, and that's one of the things that I felt that we should talk about. Proctor's doesn't set these prices. It's the production company. I know Disney did the same thing with all of The Lion King. They kept increasing the prices depending on the number of seats that were sold.
And all of things are negotiated as we go along. Like I said, the actual on sale date, we don't know yet. We know it will be this summer, but we're not sure when. The subscribers who have that souvenir ticket will get their real ticket mailed to them a few weeks before the show, so everybody can see it. Proctors.org is the only safe place to buy tickets, not only to Hamilton, but to any performance within the Proctors Collaborative at Capitol Repertory Theater once we open up Universal Preservation Hall. It's a one-stop shop, but it's geared towards protecting our patrons. There's so many ways to get taken in by different ticket scammers, resellers, etc. out there. Some of the resellers are very honest. Some of them are very dishonest, and we just want to make sure that our people are protected. The last thing we want is someone in their heart to be so excited they've come with their family to see Hamilton, they're all abuzz, and they get up to the front of the line and they're told these are not real tickets. We don't want that to happen to people.
Well, it happened
so when we say come to Proctors.org, we're not twisting our snidely mustache and saying, give us your money. We're saying if you come to us, you're going to get a real ticket,
and then
you'll
you have
protected.
a name with it, and so if you lost your ticket or something and you came, I mean, this rarely probably ever happens, but at least you've got a person you could talk to. They have your information. You've got identification. You could certainly get through a process.
And it's a proprietary system, so you're not going to get lost in this great big national, fishbowl.
No. I did want to mention that I was ushering for the Jersey Boys, and I had a woman, and she was furious at her seats because she says, I was told that I had the seats in the right up front, and she was in like row S or something, or Y in the back. Turned out she had phony tickets.
It happened to me. Happened to me in New York once. And very luckily the venue was able to I'm not going to say make amends because it wasn't on them. But they were very kind and made it that I could see the show.
Been good about,
we try very hard.
Patting them on, saying too bad.
Well, no, but we try very hard to help people. Well, I mean, like if Hamilton, if all the seats are sold, there's no way that you can sell them a new seat or do anything because there's nothing available. And that's going to be the case with Hamilton.
So, but I think it's important to address this because I do have people that tell me, because when I say, well, there aren't any tickets, they go, oh, yeah, you can buy them online. I said, no, you can't buy tickets for Hamilton online. Where did you see that? And so that's why I really wanted to talk about it.
And when it's time to be able to buy those tickets, we'll let you know. We certainly will. We certainly will.
Big thing, just like the Lion King when we had all that big hoopla. And I was there that day to corral the crowds and things like that. I also want to address quickly, because we don't have too much time, but what's coming up next? What are the big shows that are coming up?
Well, in addition to the big shows, on Sunday, April 14th, we've got the Eddies coming. Which
I know, and I mentioned that
the inaugural Capital Region Thomas Edison Music Awards. We're going to have 37
I love
categories.
The idea.
It's dreamed up by our marketing director, Jim Murphy, and our programmer, Sal Prizio. And what they want to do is amplify the local scene so people know just what great music we've got happening locally.
We have great music here. And Sal Prizio does some really great booking for the Rivers Casino as well.
Absolutely.
So, and I know that we have a really wonderful, you have no idea how important that the scene is for music and entertainment is in our community. And Proctor's, I mean, I have to say this is one of the leaders in making sure this all happens with Cap Rep and Universal Preservation Hall, Proctor's, and now the Rivers. So much going on, and you're giving voice to young and new musicians, especially with the Eddies.
As a performing musician myself,
I know you are. You're so good. He's really good.
I've covered rock and roll as a writer for over 30 years. I can tell you the Capital Region has one of the most amazing local music scenes there is.
It's wonderful.
And it's about time a light was shined on it. We're very glad that Proctor's is going to be able to help with that. That's why it's called the inaugural. We can't call it annual until we've had a second one, but trust me, we'll start calling it annual next year.
And so can anyone go to this event?
Yeah, absolutely.
And this
Wide
is on the
open.
14th?
This is on the 14th at 6 p.m.
Okay, and they can get their tickets at proctors.org. How about that?
Yeah.
So please get your tickets there. And you know what's really great about going to proctors.org? You can also see all the events that are coming up, and they're all listed by date, and check it out. And there's movies here too at the
Absolutely.
Addy.
We are the premier movie site in town.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I like about the movies here is they aren't like the run-of-the-mill. They're the really, what I want to say, I don't want to say the artsy, but they're
Artsy's
movies.
okay.
Yeah, artsy is good. You know,
we have artsy, we have funny. What
you
makes
have
us,
everything.
What makes us unique is the sheer amount of selection.
Yeah.
We've got 3 screens we show on, so we don't have the first run movies when they come out. We often have them on their second run, but we've got just an incredible our film
but
programmer.
You've had a
Paul
lot of
Kazee,
the Academy Award films,
Sure.
which that you can't just see everywhere. So it's great. So check it out. If you haven't been down here, please. What's wrong with you? So anyway, thanks so much for being here.
Glad to hear you're going to be on stage again.
Yeah, good. And we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about My-Sci and Harry Potter. Stay tuned.
Let's call the whole thing off. I like potato.
And I like potato.
I'd say tomato.
And I say tomato.
Potato.
Potato.
Tomato.
Tomato.
Oh, let's call the whole thing off. But oh, if we call the whole thing off, then we must part.
And oh, if we ever part, then that would break my heart.
Oh, really?
I love Harry Potter. I swear, every time I turn on the TV, there's another Harry Potter film on. What did Rawlings do when she created this? I understand that she was homeless. She was just destitute and wrote this, and bam!
It certainly is a phenomenon. I was a school teacher, and it always amazed. I was a little older, so my generation, it was Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
You know, my children's generation, it's Harry Potter. But as a teacher, I was blown away that I would have 2nd grade students and 3rd grade students sitting on the floor during their free time reading books, you know, that are 300, 400 pages long. So, I mean, it really is a phenomenon.
And they go, I can read a chapter book.
That's right, exactly, exactly.
So tell me, what is going to happen on Harry Potter Day? Is there going to be a Quidditch match, or what's going on?
Well, we haven't gone that far this year. This is the first year we're doing, we're calling it the Science and Wizardry of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And we're going to be transforming the museum into a interactive experience space that should appeal to wizards and witches, young and old. So that's really our goal.
We love Harry Potter.
And we love it too. So
it is just so. The first time I saw the film, of course you're not going to do the same thing, but when the photographs, you know, they look at a photo and all of a sudden it starts moving, it's like, wouldn't that be amazing?
Well, it's funny that you should mention that. I'm actually trying to work on something.
You're working on it.
So that we might have the moving portraits. Yep, I'm hoping. So fingers crossed.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
We're talking with Dan Beck. He is the director of membership and also special events. And one thing about My-Sci, Museum of Innovation and Science, is that they always have an event going on sometime. I mean, there's always like some new thing coming out, and they're doing the Nano Days, Zoom into Nano. And when they have these events, they also have augmented with other things going on to get more kids in and families. Yeah, we did the butterflies. Butterflies are coming down pretty soon.
Yeah, I actually wanted to mention that, so I'm glad you brought that up. So this event, the Science and Wizardry of Harry Potter, is April 13th, Saturday, April 13th. And then the butterflies, last day to be able to see that for the general public is the 14th. And then they'll be coming down. So
so it'll be up?
It will be up. So in addition to all the great activities and science demonstrations,
they can still do the butterflies.
They can still do the butterflies, absolutely.
Oh, how cool that is! Yeah. So where exactly are you doing all of the wizardry stuff?
It will be completely taking over the entire museum.
So is the Zoom into Science still? Zoom into Nano is still there?
Yeah, all of the exhibits will be open and they'll be incorporated into the activities that we have planned.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, we have 13 different spells that wizards and witches that will be able to master, and they have to do with the interactivity of our exhibits.
So what is, we talk about the wizardry, and it's magical. But we're talking science as well. So what science are you incorporating into this?
So one of my favorite sayings that I came across was, science is like magic, but it's real.
Yeah.
And so that's really how we're approaching
real magic.
That's exactly how we're approaching it.
You put two things together and whoa, what happened?
Exactly. So, you know, we're going to be, you know, if there's a spell for levitating or flying, we're going to show the science behind flight, or science behind, you know, making something levitate. So there will be, you know, illusions are really just really crafty science experiments generally. So it's sleight of hand and things like that are really based on scientific principles. So we're going to be illustrating
misdirection.
all of that. Exactly.
Misdirection.
Exactly.
Always misdirection.
Right.
Yeah. So how many can you accommodate at this? I mean, we're encouraging people to come to us one day. I mean, it's only one day. It's not like it's going on for a week. It's only one day.
That's right.
And it's from, I don't have the time right here, but what time it starts?
So it's the museum is open from 10 till 5. Our currently our family days like this run from 11 till 4.
So they could come early, see the butterflies, and then
absolutely,
yeah,
and it just helps with the rush.
It is 10 to 4,
you know,
yeah.
It just helps with the rush, so that there's not, you know, hundreds of people trying to get in all at once. The activities will be spread throughout the day. Some of them are timed, some of them are just drop-in activities.
Is there going to be like a schedule that people
will
know?
We'll have a better schedule. We'll have a better sense of when everything will be, and we'll be putting that out on our social media very soon. So.
And we just want to let people know there is a charge for this.
There is a charge. It's actually, I feel it's incredibly reasonable. It's the regular museum admission.
Oh, regular, so you get to see the museum, plus you get this special event.
Exactly.
And the butterflies?
Exactly.
Get out.
Yep.
What a bargain.
It can't be beat. That's right.
Can't beat that.
Members, if you're a MySci member, you get a 50% discount for these special family days. If you're interested in becoming a member, you can go on our website and do that. But yeah, there's a few things that are upcharged. We're going to have a wand maker on site. He's going to bring his mobile wand making studio with him.
I mean, who doesn't need a wand maker? I mean, you just never know when you need a wand, right?
That's true. Personally, I'm very excited to get a wand made for myself. So, so there'll be an upcharge for that. Obviously, planetarium shows, they'll be going throughout the day. There'll be an upcharge for that. We have a really great local exotic animal educator who will be on doing a show.
That's always great.
Yeah, and he's worked with us before at our science festival and a couple other things, and he's amazing. So there's
who is it?
His name is Adam Born, and he's with Uncharted Wild.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you ever get an opportunity, if for some reason you can't come to Harry Potter, if you ever get an opportunity to see him, definitely worth it.
I should get him on the show to talk.
I think that would be amazing.
Yeah. To talk about. At one time I did have a show, and we talked about exotic animals, and the guy brought a tarantula, and he brought scorpions and stuff. It's like, really, you want a scorpion for a pet? The tarantula I can understand, but scorpion I was a little bit nervous about that.
They all make me a little nervous, but Adam is a ton of fun. He really gets the crowd involved, and he's a wonderful educator. And my child, for instance, he had, I think it was a tarantula, and she didn't want anything to do with it, but after about 5 minutes, she was holding the tarantula.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty, and they're not really as deadly as you think you are. And I think it's the only spider that looks like it has 10 legs.
Yeah.
Because its feelers look like legs as well.
Sure.
Yeah, so
it's a little intimidating when you see it in person, but.
Yeah, especially the big one that fits on your whole hand.
Exactly.
There,
Exactly.
But that's what kids need to learn.
That's right, and that's the whole point. We want to have a lot of fun, but we also want to educate, and we slip that in sort of in the back door. They come and they have fun, and they might not even realize till later on.
What I want to know is, you're going to have some owls? I mean, you got to have an owl.
So unfortunately, we weren't able to work that out this one, but next year we've already got plans to make it bigger and better, and
the important bird areas, they're the ones with the owls.
Right.
And I've had them on the show. They're kind of cool.
Yeah. We've worked with them in the past for this, again, for our science festival. We just couldn't coordinate it this time.
Well, they're busy too.
Exactly.
So there's just so much you can do.
That's true.
But next year,
it'll be bigger and better.
Bigger,
So,
you're
I
going
mean,
to have the owls.
This year's event's going to be huge. Make no mistake about that. But yep, next year we're already thinking of ways how can we do this and make it even better next year.
Yeah,
So,
how
yep.
cool. Yeah, and you'll even be able to see the Challenger Space Center, although you won't be able to take a space go up to the satellite, but anyway, you can at least see it there.
Yes,
see
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We actually have a mission going on that morning, so our education department's going to be
Oh
running
my
ragged that
gosh,
day.
you
Yeah.
got a mission
Yeah.
going on.
Yep,
Oh
exactly.
my God. That place is so busy. I was stopped over there the other day, and I pulled up, and there were all these school buses there.
Yes.
I was like, oh my
Yep.
God. And I laughed because the teacher was going, now when you go into the butterflies, don't it's like
That's right.
She's giving him all these instructions.
Yep.
But it was good. Well, Dan, it was really nice to see you
It
and
was-
have you on the show.
It was great being here. Thank you so much.
Come back again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and membership, believe me, if you get a membership, this is a secret that we're not supposed to tell you. You get a membership, you know what? You can get into any museum almost in the country.
That's right. 370, I think,
I know.
science museums and museums
it
all
worked
around
for
the
me.
country.
I was in Pennsylvania and I used my little card and I got right in.
Absolutely. It's a great.
Yeah.
It's really a great deal.
It's not a secret.
It-
Tell your neighbors.
That's right. It's not a secret. And I
your-
also just really quickly wanted to mention that we're really happy to be partnering with the costumer for this,
great.
for this event.
For the Wizards.
Yeah, and they've been amazing. So
Yeah, good. So you're going to be a wizard?
I will probably be too busy to dress
okay,
up, but
okay.
most everyone who's working that
Yeah.
day will be.
But he'll be over there getting the wand made.
I'm a little behind the scenes guy. So.
Good. Okay, good. Dan, nice to meet you.
Thank you very
We're going
much.
to take a quick break, and then we'll be talking with Circles of Mercy and find out what the wonderful work they are doing. You'll be amazed at what they're doing. Stay tuned. Good. Got everything in?
So we better call the calling off. Let's call the whole thing off. Well, at least I got her to take off her pajamas. Well, I say laughter.
And I say laughter.
I say after.
And I say after.
Laughter.
Laughter.
After. Oh, let's call the whole thing off. I like vanilla.
And I like vanilla.
I sarsaparilla.
And I sarsaparilla.
Vanilla.
Vanilla.
Chocolate.
Strawberry.
Oh, let's call the whole thing off. But oh,
And here we are back again. And Richard Zizeki is with me. And of course, you've seen him on the set talking about the Cash Coalition. But forget the Cash Coalition right now. We are talking about Circles of Mercy and their partnership with Maria College and a Walk for Mercy. So let's find out about that.
Hi, Ann. Nice to be back.
Yeah.
You saved the best for last.
Oh, okay.
You had a great show.
Oh, yeah.
I was just amazed, particularly with my colleagues from the Cash Coalition talking about the filing dates for taxes. One of the things they forgot to mention was myfreetaxes.com.
Yep.
Okay. Anybody in the privacy of their home can file for
Do their own taxes.
Do their own taxes, 66,000 income or less. File both federal and state for free.
So we got a twofer here.
Twofer, right.
Twofer.
So-
But let's talk about Circles of Mercy, because when I look at the list of things that you do and what your mission is, I think everybody should know this.
Well, thanks, Ann. It's always a pleasure to come. There's nothing more that I love to do than to talk about the Sisters of Mercy, Circles of Mercy, and now as having been an alumnus, be able to talk about Maria College and our partnership with them. So all the programs and services that we provide don't happen by themselves. We need the support of both volunteers and people sharing their treasure. So this coming Saturday, we're going to do our Walk for Mercy. It's in partnership with Maria College. It's going to be, the college is going to host it. So we'll be right there at the college, 700 New Scotland
And
Avenue.
it's in the hall.
Yeah,
What did
Marion
I read?
Hall.
Marion Hall, yeah.
It's one of the educational buildings on the campus. So that's the starting and ending point. The walk goes around the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it goes down to Scotland Avenue over Whitehall Road.
Oh, that's a nice walk.
Yeah, and then by JCC it comes down Manning Boulevard, past the hospital, left back onto New Scotland, and ends at the college. About 2.5 miles.
But you're doing something a little bit different. Did I read that right, that you're not charging them to walk? You're trying to get them to walk and make donations.
Right, and it's the same concept that most nonprofits use for their walks, community walks. It's people signing up, they get sponsors, give them a couple bucks, they'll come in, register to walk, make the donation on behalf of the various sponsors. Right. We've had some really nice corporate sponsors that have signed up, Paul Tonko, John McDonald, St. Peter's Hospital, which is another Mercy founded.
Right across from Maria.
Right, and Maria College is part of the Circle of Mercy. It's a sponsored ministry like Circles is of the sisters. So it's just, it's Mercy helping Mercy is the way we look at it.
So what is your mission?
Our mission is we're, as with Schenectady today, we're in our 21st year of, can you imagine that? 21 years of tradition of providing hope, hospitality, and empowerment to people in the Rensselaer community. Our mission statement is based upon the gospel and the spirit of Catherine McCauley, who is the first Sister of Mercy, and her passion for the poor, and that's what drives our programs and services that we provide. It's all done under the charism of mercy, as I mentioned, care of the poor, the sick, and the uneducated, spirit of hospitality, justice, compassion. There's also critical concerns that the sisters continue to be interested in. Obviously, the environment, earth, water.
Things change.
Yep.
Yeah.
Immigration. The leadership team is now down at the southern border looking at this situation.
Oh, yeah.
Involving the immigration.
And the children that are being separated.
And then what drives everything is providing the spiritual and/or the corporal works of mercy. And with that, we're able to provide our programs. We don't do everything.
No.
Okay, but
you do an awful lot.
We do a lot, but we can make that linkage to other agencies for the services that we don't provide. So as my colleagues mentioned earlier, and that we've talked about on the show previously, is our free income tax preparation program. We also co-locate at our facility a AARP tax aid site. So we're able to take not only care of the low income, but also the seniors on fixed incomes.
And are you associated with United Way with the 211 number?
Yes.
They're going to call you. Okay.
Correct, right. And that's always the best thing to do for anyone. Whatever you're trying to find out, if you're trying to book a tax appointment or trying to find out services that are available where
domestic violence, whatever it is.
Whatever you need, 211
is the number to call.
So we provide financial literacy training. We do basic computer training. We assist with resume prep and job search. We do the human resource referrals. We advocate. We provide 3 big kids programs during the course of the year. Right now, we're gearing up for the Easter baskets. Then during the summer, it's collecting supplies for back to school.
You do the layettes. I mean, you do everything.
Layettes, adopt a family at Christmas time. So I'm the only...
Is there anything you don't do?
Well, I'm the only full-time person. I have a part-time administrative assistant, but we have over 100 volunteers. And that's where the partnership comes in, particularly with Maria College. Maria College has been very good to us. It's a partnership that is based upon the same mission of mercy.
You have the same mission.
And the other thing, too, to remember is that, there are college kids that are on fixed incomes, and there are college students who don't have everything that they need.
Yeah.
So one of the things
not everybody's rich that goes to college.
Yeah. Right. So
can I just interrupt you just for a second, because I'm just going to run through who's coming on next week, and then we'll continue with our thing.
All right.
Because they need to get slides up. We're going to be talking about eels. Can you believe eels? We're talking about eels in a big research study that's being done on eels. We're going to be talking about the Girl Scouts camping. We're going to be talking about with an attorney for our legal corner. We'll be talking about Mother Teresa Cancer Awareness Fund coming up, and Women's Symposium, which has to do, is being sponsored by Habitat. So,
wow.
Yeah, well, there's always something here.
Oh.
I keep busy.
Yeah, plethora of information.
I know. Okay. So let's continue with yours, because you're having the event.
Well, we're having our event, as I mentioned, in the partnership with Maria College. besides the walk benefiting Circles of Mercy, it's also going to help benefit Maria College's Student Support Center.
That's really great.
They have a facility there that's dedicated to Frank O'Brien, and the support center provides those additional needs that students have and required during the course of their academic studies. So it's a pleasure for us to be able to partner and hand in hand to help support each other in this effort.
Yeah, I had 2 daughters graduated from Maria.
I graduated from Maria too.
With the nursing program.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So it's, but you do so much good work, and I think what you're talking about is to bring people together for the Walk for Mercy. You're bringing them together. They can commiserate. They can talk about their special interests and how they can help. And the date again?
Is this coming Saturday, April 6th? And the theme, as you're mentioning, is widening that circle of mercy. Everybody getting together for a common cause, and that is providing those in need with the help and the resources for them to make their lives better.
Good. You're doing great work,
well, thank you,
Richard.
Ann.
Always
Thanks for
good to
giving us
see
the
you.
opportunity to share that information.
Great. You've been watching Schenectady Today in and around the Capital Region. We've been talking with Richard Zizecki.